Well, it's commitment season, and we all know going into April, moving through July, we're going to see all kinds of commitments and stuff from players. And so it's time to start talking about some of these top sixes, top eights that the Sooners are landing into and determine there's an opportunity for us to land one of these players. So I'm going to start off with this player, Deshaun Brom, out of Derby, Kansas. Now, this big tight end is one player that the Sooners definitely would get their hands on, as they seem to be going after more tight ends. There's about like 5 on the list. So let's dive into him. But before we do that, welcome to Sooner or Later Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank y'all for pulling up to the channel. Y'all know what it is. We're going to dive in real quick on this player. We're going to do this for all of these offers and interesting players. We're going to drop these quick videos to get you guys excited. So make sure if you like them, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and share. Why? Because sharing is caring. So let's look at Deshaun Brom. Like, he's one of those players that jumped out to me of one that we should talk about, because when I saw this list of teams, I mean, he's got Ole Miss, LSU, Tennessee, Oregon, Alabama, and Oklahoma as his top 6. Number 3 tight end in the nation on 3. It's kind of fascinating because he is a top 100 player in the nation. And so, yeah, overall, thought it was intriguing that a Derby, Kansas kid had 0 Kansas teams on his list, right? Like, none of them are from Kansas. Ain't that crazy? But Oklahoma is in the mix, and we all know that Brent Venables does a fantastic job going after players in Kansas. And so when you see him, 6'4", roughly about 2 1/4, nice size, and as I mentioned, you can see here, he is a top 100 player in high school football, which is huge. Top 3 tight end, depending on which service you use. He's consistently in the top 60 in most of them, and in top 10. Top 5 easily on just about every single recruiting metric. So you can see that a lot of them agree with each other. But of course, he's made his visit to Oklahoma. He's got here. He's visited with Coach Brent Venables. Got some pictures with him, Joe John Finley. And so they're working it and trying to get this tight end in Norman to add to what we're trying to do, right? The Cephala Trail, Joe John Finley offense, I'm hearing is going to have a lot of tight end usage. And he's one of those players that will add to that. Let's look at a little film. So, I mean, he finished with 46 catches for 942 yards last season, 3 touchdowns, and he can line up at the slot and as well as, at tight end. And I was reading an article about him. He made mention that he's really looking for a team that's going to be able to leverage him in the 12 or 13 personnel. He's hoping for a lot of tight end play, opportunities to go out there and shine. And I'm thinking that Oklahoma's going to be one of those that can do that for him. Now, granted, he's a big tight end, and he's, of course, right now at 2 1/4, but getting him through high school, 25 extra pounds, and with the speed that he has, if he can keep his speed, man, he could go in as a slot on a lot of plays, still being a tight end, is being a big dude. He can outrun the defense. He can get up there and get jump balls, as well as he's strong, right? You can see the strength in him is if he's able to go out there and muscle with some folks. The question I have is, what's his blocking going to look like? In which we'll learn that over time as he starts to play more. But no, he gets up there and he goes after the ball. Very good vision with the ball. And so he's a threat anytime he's on the field. So for me, Oklahoma definitely has to keep an eye on this kid and try their hardest. I don't see us honestly landing him. I see him as a heavy Oregon lead based upon a lot of the experts. But at the same time, the way he talks, it sounds like it's mainly them. But the fact that Oklahoma landed in the top 6 is a good thing because we can still woo him. So, of course, the goal is to get him back on campus, and I anticipate the Sooners getting him back here at least sometime in June. So, that's Deshaun Brom. Hop in the comments. Let your boy know your thoughts. Think Oklahoma has a chance? Any intel you got? Feel free to hop in those comments and let us know your thoughts. Oklahoma is definitely changing the way they're recruiting, and we're starting to see it, and I think it's going to pay dividends, especially once y'all see what Devon Mitchell does this season at tight end. Him and Bauer Sharp. Whoo, buddy, it's going to be big. I'll talk about that more on the Unfair Sports channel. If you've made it this far, you like the content, please hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Love for you to join this family of Sooner fans. We talk all OU recruiting here and want you to join us too. So to get to that road to 1,000, make sure you guys share and subscribe. Got a couple more players to show, so we'll probably drop a couple videos over the next couple of days, and we'll talk more. Peace.